What's up, guys? It's your boy AG, and I just want to welcome everybody to this happy 420. I figured I'd make a cordycep video today on this lovely 420 morning. For those of you that are running cords or want to run cords, I have put together, I believe, the easiest process. If you're not wanting to do bulk, let's say you're just wanting to grow your own personal cordyceps, this is the perfect way to do it. You don't really need anything special besides, your pressure cooker. That's about it. Everything else you can get from Amazon or from Walmart. And again, I'll leave links to everything at the bottom of the description box. Please use those links because I do get a small commission, full disclosure, if anybody purchases any items through those links. So I'd greatly appreciate that. And also do not forget to hit the subscribe button and like button. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. So please hit that button, y'all. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so today, like I said, we're doing cords. You're going to need yeast extract. This is like 15 bucks from Amazon. You're going to need light malt extract. Roughly about the same from Amazon, 25 bucks, I believe. And the recipe doesn't call for peptin, but I use soy peptin in pretty much everything I do mycology wise, from liquid culture to agar, you name it. If a powdered nutrient is going into a solution, you best better believe I'm putting peptin in it 99.9% of the time. This is an egg-based recipe, so we're going to be using 3 whole eggs. These are large eggs, shells and all. You're going to need a blender, and you're going to need my secret weapon, which is a heat gun. I know you're probably freaking out right now and tripping like, why is this crazy motherfucker using a heat gun? Well, because if you ran cords before and you have run this egg-based recipe, you know that you have like a 2 or 3 hour wait time for the foam to go down or dissipate, whatever you want to call it. This is just a cheap $20 little stock pot from Walmart. Actually, I think it might even be a jarring canning pot, whatever. I don't know. It's just one of those cheap dillies that comes with the lid. I love this bad boy. I use it for all kinds of shit, man. So what we're going to do, I went ahead and already portioned out our rice just to save you some time. But what you want, so cordyceps love a very thin substrate. The thinner you can get it, the better. Now, obviously, you don't want to go too thin where there's gaps and holes in it. So with these guys, I have done basically, so I have found that 15 grams in each cup of brown rice works the best. It gets you the thinnest substrate without being too thin. If you put too much rice in, you'll get little curls where the substrate will want to kind of peel up a little bit. Here, I'll show you. This is one that I did previously, so that way I can show you guys in part 2 on how to inoculate. But if you can see, it kind of pried up a little bit. Now that's fine. It's not going to cause contamination, but what it will cause is cordyceps to grow underneath your cake. And that will obviously hinder your flush and your canopy being really even on the top side. So you always want to go as thin as you possibly can. And I have found, I've done all these from 30 grams, 20, I've done all the numbers many different times, and I found 15 grams of rice, brown rice, per container. And then you're going to use about 35 milliliters of egg solution, which we're going to make right now. So what I have here is 500 milliliters. It's actually a fat pour, which means it's like about a centimeter over, which is what I call a fat pour. 500 mils distilled water. That is key. You do not want to use non-distilled or regular tap. It's got fluoride, chlorine, just all kinds of bullshit in it you do not want in your mix. You want an inert solution starting out. So your water needs to be inert. You want nothing in it, totally distilled. Take your 3-hole eggs, boom, boom, boom. Don't matter if they break, it's fine. Then you're going to take your, excuse me, take your tablespoon here. You're going to do 1 tablespoon of light malt extract. If it's a smidge over, that's fine. It doesn't have to be exact. Now we're going to do the same with our yeast extract. On the peptin, I'll show you. You're only going to put about 1 gram in there. So I basically take it, and just basically do about a little less than a half of a tablespoon of peptin. A little more, a little less, ain't gonna hurt nothing. Be all good. What we're gonna do now is blend this bad boy up. And you want to get a good blend on it. That's key. When I first started out doing cordyceps, I would blend for as short as time as I could because I was trying to keep the foam down, because I didn't yet figure out my little trick. I was doing gummies one day and had some bubbles in my gummies, and thought back to the one time or the couple times where I did epoxy river tables, and you use a blowtorch to get the bubbles out. So I was like, well, shit, a heat gun will work to get the bubbles out of gummies. Why won't a heat gun work to get the foam out of freaking my egg-based cordycep solution? And sure enough, god damn it, boy, wait till you see this shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. God damn it, these fucking bags. Okay. Then we're going to pour everything when it's done into our stock pot. That's going to be your perfect vessel for the heat gun action. All right, that's good. If you have this type of blender from Walmart, be careful because the lid's a cocksucker taking it off. Okay. Just pour it straight. Don't go crazy because it'll splash up, but just pour it right into your pot, shells and all, just everything. Now I'm going to show you a trick. So there's still a little bit of foam left in here. Foam, obviously, when it's not foam, will be more liquid. So watch. We're going to take our heat gun and just start hitting the little foamy bubbles and watch. Look at that. Now, always, soon as you're done, take this straight to your sink and wash it out. If you leave it for a day or two, and like I have gotten super busy with orders and forgot about this thing, I walk in my lab, I'm like, what stinks like shit? It's a fucking eggs. So let me make sure you guys can get a good view of the foam here. Let me move this shit over. That's a little better. Okay. Okay, so just watch this shit, you guys. Yeah, I don't want to turn it around, but so you can see full foam. Just watch. Let's move this. So you guys can see that better. Make sure you guys can see that better. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. I like to start kind of go around the edges. Just kind of get a little border going. You'll get a technique. You can do circles or zigzags, whatever the fuck you want. But you can literally start to see it working. I mean, immediately you'll see the solution thin up. And the heat from this is not going to hurt your solution, because as soon as you're done here, it's getting portioned into these guys. I'll put foil over top of the containers, because I have not yet to find a company that has PP5 containers and PP5 lids. I don't know why. None of them make PP freaking 5 lids. It's ridiculous. But your boy Archie's got a hack for that too. That's why subscribing to my channel is crucial for your mycology progress. Because I've already done the dirty work. I've already, ruined a bunch of shit to get the exact recipe for you guys that's going to give you the success that you've been craving all of these months and years. You've been, researching and attempts and mold and trike, and you're just, at the point where you're ready to throw in the towel and say, fuck this hobby. Well, if you subscribe to this channel and you clicked on this video, boy, you came to the right place, because your boy Archie's going to get you set up. He's going to take care of you and make sure you have that success. Because success in this hobby, in my eyes, can be the difference of life and death to somebody. It was for me. I started this hobby to save my life. I started this hobby to have purpose, and boy, mycology has given me more than I could ever imagine. It's just, the possibilities are endless. So now, this was once about a 2.5 or 3 hour process of, kind of sliding it back and forth to kind of get the bubble, the foam to bubbles to kind of pop themselves. And, I could only get in one set of these a day. And also I was using 32 ounces that are double the height. You don't need those. Your cordyceps are only going to grow maximum, to the lid here. And you can fit 15 of these in a 23 quart Presto instead of five of the bigger ones. So now I have a bunch of big ones. If you want your own little grow kits, I actually have the 32 ounces on my website. I believe they're like $9.99 a piece, and they'll come pre-colonized. All you do is set them on a shelf, make sure they can get some light, and in a few weeks you'll have your own cordyceps. So a link to my website will be at the bottom in the description box too. Also, it'll be at the bottom of this video. You can't miss that big old banner screaming Archie's Mycology Shop. All right, we're looking good, y'all. Yeah, like I said, man, I started mycology because I was tired of being tired and sick and tired. And I know I hate that cliche, but hell, I got clean November 17th of 2016. And that winter, I was on the streets of Colorado Springs, hooked on heroin or fentanyl, whatever you want to call it, shooting dope, shooting anything I could get my hands on, living under a bridge. I freaking had no veins to hit, so I was skin popping and shooting it in my muscle in my butt. End up getting an abscess that fucking almost killed me. And I got on a bus and freaking went to treatment. And I told myself that this time I'm going to do something different. And I read an article on psilocybin and microdosing. I already knew about mushrooms and psilocybin and microdosing. I just didn't know how effective it was to help treating addiction. And not just really addiction, but that anxiety that you get when you're first trying to get clean, that never ending anxiety and the sweat from your armpits that you just, it never stops. And boy, that like second week of microdosing, like that one day I was just like, holy shit, like I haven't had anxiety in weeks. And I didn't really notice it at first. And you won't, but like after a couple weeks you'll be like, holy shit, like I'm not as mad. I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to shoot dope. I'm not craving heroin. I don't have that freaking never-ending anxiety that, you know, won't let me sleep and eat and just live my best life I can. And psilocybin has done that for me. It's given me more than I could ever imagine. It's given me a network of friends that is second to none. Like my so-called friends in high school, when they found out that I was using heroin, they just automatically was like, oh, you know, Archie's a junkie, fuck him. You know, they didn't, you know, I guess they all just thought that one day I decided, oh, I think I'll start shooting heroin today. No, I had a fucking 8mm kidney stone that had to be surgically yanked out of my dick. And I pissed blood for about 8 months. And I had doctors literally telling me that I have to, like, you will not heal properly and you'll be in more pain than you can imagine if you don't take these pain meds. They had me on Oxy 80s, Roxy 30s, and Perk 10s. I'd get like, I think it was 60 of them each a month. And I'd run out early and they just asked me, what would you want? What would you like this time? And it was like a never ending buffet of pills. And then after 6 months, they just cut me off. And I experienced my first fucking withdrawal. I woke up one morning dope sick and didn't even know what was going on with my body. That's why education and educating yourself on your addiction and on your body is key to knowing what's going on in your body. To be able to identify, you know, what is happening at that moment, even though you might not be able to fix it instantly. Obviously, you can't just turn a withdrawal off, but having the knowledge of knowing what it is will help you mentally get through it and also physically help you mitigate some of the, you know, underlining whatchamacallits that you're feeling from the withdrawal. So education is fucking key, man. All right, so look at that bad boy. Zero foam, y'all. That's how we roll here at AMS. Okay, so what I like to do is transfer, and I'll do a little swish so the shells are kind of loose, because you want some of the shells in the mix. They have calcium and a lot of nutrients that are good for the cords they love. So then I take one of these guys. It's just a measuring cup from Walmart. They're like $2-3. And I'll measure out. Basically what I do is like just a smidge under 40 milliliters. And when you're looking at it standing up, if you do it to 40, it actually is right at a fat 35 when you look level at it. So always take that into consideration. If you're at an angle, see, look, I'm going to pour this up to 40. But when I look down on it, boom, it's like 36 or 7, which is, perfect for what we want. So boom. Now let that chill. We're going to come back after, and we're going to give them all a little stir and shake so the rice distributes evenly. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay. And then there's another trick too, and I'll show you. When you PC these and they're done pressure cooking, you do not want to take that lid off as soon as the safety switch depressurizes, because when you take that lid off, the sudden change in temperature from the cold air rushing in will cause these to expand and contract, which will fuck up your cakes, but it will also possibly cause air to go into your containers. Now I'm going to show you how to seal them really good, but you just do not want to take a chance if you don't have to. There's just no reason. So you always want to let that pressure cooker cool down for about 45 minutes or so before you take that lid off. That way you won't have that crazy temperature change. Okay. Okay, a couple more. Last little bit. Okay. Like I said, you can get 15 of these in your PC compared to 5 of the 32s. Okay. So we got a smidge more. We're just going to do a drip in each. All right, that's her. Now, This is probably one of the most crucial steps, is putting your foil over top of these. If you do not create a good seal and do it the way the technique I'm going to show you, I always like to get all the bubbles out from the pour too. That way it don't fuck with my OCD. Okay. Always give them a little stir to evenly distribute that rice. Okay. So you can basically get, out of one piece of foil, you can get two containers covered. Just split it in half, put it right at the end of a table, just split it down the middle. Now this is crucial. So take it and just, evenly half it. And then you're going to take one side and just kind of fold it down that way. It locks it in. Then you just kind of take your hands and, push it all down so it's nice and flush. Then you're going to come with your fingers and just slide them right underneath that lip. You should be able to see that. Let me make sure you can see that good. Okay, yeah, cool, you can. Okay, so you just kind of want to slide your fingers and your thumb over top, creating a really good seal. Like, that's not gonna fucking get any gram-negative particles or any contaminations, period. Do a couple more. Then in part 2, I'll show you guys how I inoculate everything and how I put my lids on. So basically, I take my lids and drill about a 1/4-inch little hole, no, maybe an 1/8-inch hole, and I just put a couple air filter stickers, some air exchange stickers on them, and that's all you need. About an 1/8 to a 1/4-inch hole. Since these are PP4s, I believe these are LDPE4s, which means they will fucking melt in your pressure cooker. What I do is, when these are in the pressure cooker, I'll turn on my flow hood, take my alcohol swab, and swab all the bottoms, which I'll show you in part 2. That way you have a clean lid going on your container, and it's not going to transfer any little gram-negative particles into your cordycep containers. I'm still learning how to edit shit, guys. Like, I'm going to try to fast forward through some stuff like the foam, the heat gun portion and stuff. But yeah, bear with me, guys. I am so technically challenged when it comes to like computer stuff, terminology for computers, and editing videos and shit. Like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing, but I'll do my best. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me. Boom. See, you got a nice seal on them bad boys. Now, when you get the 5th one into your pressure cooker, they're not gonna, you're gonna have like a centimeter difference, so where they're not, where one lip has to sit over top of another. And in order to get them even, you want to offset the lips. So if you have this side over top of the other lid, you want it on the bottom side of another. If that makes sense. Because that way it'll keep them even. Or I think I explained that wrong. You want the top side of the other. You want the top side of this on the bottom side of the other is what I meant. I'll show you. So basically, when they're in there, you want them, if you can't fit it evenly, so they'll be like this on the corner, and you'll be putting this one in resting on top. So the bottom sides of each of the lips are going to be on the tops of each of these, if that makes sense. Sorry, I know that came out wrong when I first said it, but it's like 5 in the morning, so bear with me. Might be a little later, like 6:30, something. Okay, boom. Now, when you put the next row in, you're gonna stack this guy in the center of the other two. You don't want to go directly on that other foil, just because it can create too much weight. Even though the seals are really tight, and I know for a fact it won't. There's still no reason to stack them directly like that. You want to have them staggered. Just because it's just better to be safe than sorry. Because it took me a few 3 or 4 runs, to really get a good seal on these. And when you're first doing this, you might not get as good a seal as you need. So not staggering them could really fuck your shit up. Okay. And also too, when you're first start to make your little pinch, take your left hand or your right hand, whichever hand you're using, and really hold that side of the foil, because you do not want it to shift. You want it to really stay, centered. So always have that other hand planted firmly so they won't shift on you. Now, another thing which I'll go over in part 2, cordycep. Cordycep mycelium does not recover as well as a lot of other varieties, or strands for that matter. So when inoculating, you want to use a lot more LC than you normally would. Well, not me. I zap like 10 to 15 milliliters in each bag. I always zap at least a 10 milliliter syringe into everything I inoculate, no matter what it is. But with these, even though these being very small containers, I use about 8 to 10 milliliters per container. Almost a full syringe, just a little shy of a full syringe is what I use. I found that 10 milliliters is just a little too much, and you get a lot of overlay, which doesn't hurt anything, but I think it can maybe hinder your yields a little bit. So I found that 8 milliliters is enough mycelium for it to recover, real strong, and then not have too much overlaid during fruiting. All right. Almost done. This is the part I'm going to try to fast forward through, which I don't know. I haven't really figured it out yet, but we'll try. This little straggler. Now these are going to be sterilized, so it's okay. I just stuck my finger in there, no big deal. Now we're going to pressure cook these at 15 psi for 40 minutes. You can go 45 if you want, but I do 40. I think maybe sometimes I might do 45 when I'm feeling froggy, maybe. Okay, 3 more. Okay. Alright, one more. And then I'll show you guys how these are stacked in here. Actually. Boom. I knew I had a spare piece in here. Okay. Oops, flower tent just popped on. I wonder if cannabis plants know like what day 420 is. I mean, they are living. You never know. What if they're like celebrating themselves? Like it's like a party going on inside my flower tent today. Like they're all like happy 420 to each other. Okay, so I'm gonna move you guys for a second. Oh shit, sorry. Sorry. Okay. So you can basically see how those are stacked in. Pretty self-explanatory. And just boom, lit it. We let it rock for 40 minutes. Now, don't forget to come back in part 2. I'll be inoculating everything. I'll also be going over how I make up my cordycep liquid culture using master jars and a bunch of other stuff. So stay tuned for part 2, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We need all the subscribers we can get. And any comments, please shoot them my way. I will do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. Love y'all, man. Peace.